Hey, Basket Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc, and I am the Ayatollah of rock and rolla. Alongside me today is Ollie DePina. He is the Washington State Rattlesnake. And alongside of us is the Beast from the East, Caleb Joyner. Welcome to episode 33 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. This is episode 33, the Nidorino episode. Famous players to wear number 33, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Scottie Pippen, and Patrick Ewing. My favorite Red Sox players to wear the number 33, easy, it's the captain, Jason Varitek. And kind of a weird notable mention is Jose Canseco. Mariners players to wear the number 33, there wasn't very many of them. This most recent season in 2024, it was Zavala. And in 2023, Brian Wu wore number 23. We're number 33.
For the Giants, we have a couple older players, but from like the 70s, 80s. George Adams, who for Seahawks fans is Jamal Adams' dad, or at least related. I'm pretty sure it's his dad. And then Bobby Hammond in the 70s, and then most recently we had Dion Lewis in 2020. So those are some Giants with some number 33 love.
Nice. Yeah, Caleb, thank you so much for joining us this week. It's a pleasure to have you on. We're going to kind of start this with getting to know you a little bit more and kind of asking you some questions, kind of getting our followers to, get in tune with you. I've been playing with you for a long time now. I feel like it's been years that you and I have kind of just seen each other around on the Washington State circuit.
Met you at Delphi.
Is that when the first time we played was? I was trying to remember. I couldn't.
2021, I believe.
Okay. Was that at the Otis? Was that the year that it was raining really bad?
Yeah, you played on Lee Card the second round and had a whoopsies on hole one.
Yeah, that's right. That was reported like C Sports or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, you live over in Yakima, right?
Yes, sir. Granted, I'm never in Yakima during the spring, summertime, fallish.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, we see you pretty much just about every weekend, it seems like, which is awesome. What's the disc golf scene like over in Yakima? Is there just not too much going on over there?
Well, in Yakima, it is extremely tiny. Like, we don't have a huge disc golf complex. We got like a 9-hole course and a somewhat an 18-hole course, but like, it's not huge. Like, I see people playing, but it's more of a recreational sport than competitive such and such, I guess.
Right, more just
That's
family.
why I drive to Tri-Cities a lot because there's a lot more going on, more courses, more competition and such. But yeah, basically home base is Yakima, Tri-Cities area.
Mm-hmm. What's going on? How many tournaments are going on in the Tri-Cities? I know I see a couple of B tiers there a year. But I
know there's 2-3 B tiers a year and some sprinkled C tiers, but not a lot compared to like where y'all live.
Okay, yeah, that's why we see you over here pretty much every weekend.
Yeah.
And is disc golf is your full-time job?
It's the only way I make money.
That's awesome, dude. Living the dream. I love it. How long have you been just like solo disc golfing for?
Well, just like picking up a disc, I would say 10 years, but like for realsies, maybe like 4 or 5.
Okay, and that's how long you've been just like disc golf is my full-time go kind of thing?
Yeah.
More or less.
2017 was the realization of, wow, I want this to be my job, not just something I do for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Bieber State Fling in person, and there was so many people there. I was like, holy smokes, this is sick. And these dudes are getting paid to do this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Was there any specific moment during that Beaver State Fling where you were like some player you were watching where you're like, oh, I want to like do that basically, or was it just like everything basically with that?
So Double G, Garrett Gerthy, he came to Yakima the week before the Beaver.
Oh, that's
not
cool.
To play or anything, but isn't it Jessica Weiss?
Yep.
So she was playing the La Nina, which used to be an all-women's tournament in Yakima. Well, he came out. I learned about the Sonic that day, and like we talked, and he was super cool cat. I was like, wow, like this dude's a pro and not a jerk. Like that's sweet. But when I went down to the Beaver, we went on Sunday, and it was Garrett Gerthy, Drew Gibson, Simon Lizotte, and Eagle McMahon.
Oh yeah.
I never saw a disc fly like that by 4 people all at once.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the tipping point of tournaments are fun to where tournaments are still fun, but also like job, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's that's awesome, dude. What's the first course that you played?
The first course ever was Randall Park in Yakima, Washington.
Is that the 9-holer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I still play it over the 18-hole course because there's like 10 trees compared to the 3 trees.
Yeah. What's your like your course record?
Well, on the 9, I shot 9.
Mm-hmm.
There's like Mandos and OBs, but if you can throw a hyzer and if you don't suck at putting, it's pretty easy.
It's there. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And then just a couple of other questions, kind of get to know you a little more. I know you have a girlfriend. What's your girlfriend's name?
Savannah.
Savannah. And
Yep.
what does Savannah do?
She is a. Oof, this is the actual probably term, but she is a head chef, or is the head chef at this fancy restaurant in Yakima called Waterfire.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
She
cool.
makes some bougie food.
Oh, dude, that's sick, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I used to be a chef as well, so if I ever meet her, I'll have to pick her brain a little bit. Very cool. And how old are you, bud?
I am 26.
26.
Yes, sir.
And then the last question I have for you, going through your Facebook and stuff, I saw that you used to play music, or you still play music.
Yeah, I think when I was 10, I like picked up the drums, a bass, a guitar. It's a long list these days, but
Oh, wow.
I mostly focus on guitar and singing, but I can play a lot of different instruments.
That's cool. Is there somewhere where we can like find?
Oof. I mean, the very random TikTok I'll make of me playing my guitar, maybe.
I've seen a video on Facebook of you playing and singing, right?
Oh yeah, that was a Hit the Road Jack.
Yep.
Okay.
I was loving that. So I heard that, and I was like, that's where I was like, okay.
That's sweet. Do you play like a list of instruments though?
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
And
Some of them I'll forget. I even play them.
Is music just something that just came really natural to you? Just like growing up, you're like, it just makes sense?
My family is like super musical. Like,
Okay.
my mom and grandma can sing. My grandma can play the piano, guitar. It was basically, I was born into it. And then I had like, I don't know, maybe 6 months of lessons on the guitar. And the dude told my mom that you're really just paying for me to hang out with your son for an hour to play. I'm not really teaching him anymore.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. Very sweet. Do you bring your guitar out for like tournaments? Are you that guy around the campfire?
Crystal Mountain.
Yeah, that's
the one I bring it.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool, man. That was awesome. A lot of that I did not know about you, and some of that I did just from so many rounds with you and whatnot. So, Ollie, how you doing, man? How's your week?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Starting to get a little colder here, so working outside's getting a little harder, but I got the gear for it, so it's not too bad. And everything, yeah, just working, head down, getting to play some rounds when I can. I'm really excited to have Caleb on here. I got to play with Caleb for the first time at White River, but I've seen him before and other times at the course and stuff like that. It's someone signs up for a bunch of the ECD, if not all of them, where he's just in the MPO division. You see him scoring well and winning tournaments and stuff like that. So really excited to have him on. And when we were talking about having him join us for this episode, was just excited. Been excited. It's been cool getting to know you this year and see you as a player this year. So, and getting to play with you this year. So that was cool.
Yeah. No, it's been really great. I don't know if we mentioned at the beginning of the show, but Caleb is a recent Emerald City Discs team member, so that's been pretty great. I was gonna wait till after the show, but I'll ask you now, Ollie. Brian and I were talking about the for next year, and we were wondering if you wanted to move from Box Squad to City. So you don't have to make a decision now, but that's definitely something that we've talked about and we're going to put on the table, and kind of yeah. So you've definitely earned it. You know, like both of you guys do exactly like what we are looking for at Emerald City Discs, the players that we sponsor. You know, people have asked us so many times, like, how do I get on the team? How do I get on the Box Squad? How do I get in with you guys? And it's doing what you guys are doing, being active on social media, being good people on the course, showing up, whether, you know, playing well or not playing well. You guys are out there representing well, representing the brand. So, Brian, like, super happy to have both of you guys involved, like, with what we're doing. And, yeah, Ollie, like we said, man, you don't have to make a decision now, and no pressure, of course, but like we'd love to have you kind of move up teams to Emerald City and join Caleb and I. So,
oh yeah, I think I mean, without like full answer, yeah, I am so down and super excited. That was the goal all along from the start, but yeah, that was not in the show notes. I'm very excited. Like this is
I was gonna
yeah.
wait till I know because I didn't want to
No,
put
this is so sick. I'm very happy right now. Yeah.
Love to hear it, man. Very cool.
All right, teammates, how we doing?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm not just the junioring, but
Yeah,
this
right.
is so cool. No, I love that. I love that.
Hell yeah, no, happy to have you, man. Yeah, we're gonna get right into the tournament from this past weekend. It was the Seatac Slowdown. Your Seatac Slowdown champion, Caleb Joyner, is with us today. All in all, it's a pretty overall like cold and rainy day. Caleb, you and I were kind of talking a little bit before the show. We expected it to be a lot worse than it was.
No doubt.
Yeah, it was still pretty chilly and whatnot. So, yeah, you and I played only the first round and then ended up dropping out. I have a foot injury that I'm kind of nursing, kind of dealing with. I think it's, and I'm not a doctor. This is like self-diagnosing, but I think it's called like plantar fasciitis or whatever. And it's just like a sore foot. Like it's like my heel to like the arch of my foot is really sore. And Caleb, I don't know if you remember on round 1 on hole 24, I hit the basket with my upshot.
That was pretty sick.
Dude, it was. The downside of that is I did a little hop, and when I landed and my heel hit the ground, and I was like, ooh, and it sent like a shock up my leg, and I was trying to walk it off and kind of play it off, and then the next 3 holes, I was like, I can't, like I didn't feel like I had my feet underneath me, and then I was like, hey, like, I don't think, like, I can't really putt because of the way I was kind of pushing off was like stressing it a little bit, and that was kind of ultimately like my decision being like, hey, like, there's no reason to like work my foot harder than it needs to at this like C tier in November. I do think that if this was like, you know, Beaver State Fling or, you know, one of like the bigger events, I'd probably just try to grind through it and then deal with like the hurt foot like the next day and that kind of thing. But, you know, for the time of year, it kind of just in my mind made the most sense to kind of, you know, bow out after the first round. So yeah, all in all, I thought it was all right though. Caleb, you want to talk a little bit about your experience with the weekend?
I don't know. It was like any other weekend at Setac. It was wet. There was trees for sure, but I had fun. Both cards were super fun. I was a little sad to not see you the second round, but it's okay. We can battle it out next year.
Oh, we will play. Yeah. We will be talking about schedule for next year coming up, and I got a lot planned. Definitely looking to make next year, like take full advantage of next year for sure. So got to get healthy and ready for that first, though.
Yeah, you don't want to be hurt or nursing something going into the start of some season or like the earlier tournaments. So definitely want to be safe on that.
For sure. Yeah, I've been talking about the last couple of weeks how I've been at the gym pretty much every day, and I haven't been at the gym the last couple of days. So I'm trying to just like stay off of my foot and like let it kind of heal up.
I saw Luke's been at the gym, and I was loving that. I was loving that. I was like, I was reading the comments, and I was like, let's go, Luke.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped about it. He came up, and he and I chatted a bunch this past weekend too, and you know, he was like, man, I thank you guys so much for like, you know, shouting out and all the love on the show and that. I'm like, bro, you're our boy. Like, it's cool. We love Luke for sure. So I'm gonna go through the winners real quick of the Seatac Slowdown. MPO champion Caleb Joyner MP40 Keone Kahala, who's also an ECD teammate. MP50 Ming Vang, no surprise. MP60 Steve Bell. MA1 Box Squad teammate Alexander.
Let's go.
MA40 Dan O'Brien. MA50 Clay Layton. MA60, and this was one of the most heated divisions in all of Washington State this past weekend. Michael Go barely etched out my MA60 GOAT, Chuck Knudsen. Ollie, you were talking with Chuck, right? You said that Chuck said that two against each other?
Yeah, Chuck hit me up and he said, which it's just so funny because to them we've created this narrative of this rivalry and we've created our own narrative because like for Chuck to message me and be like, oh, like and talk to me about his record against Michael Go, it's an exciting Washington State rivalry, in my opinion, the deepest one. But he messaged me and he was like, yeah, we are 2-2 now. We always have a good battle. So now the battle is like there now. It's two titans.
It's in their minds, which is like the best part. It's like we created this. There's no, like that feels really good. I think it'd be really fun, and I wonder if we can get both of them out for a weekend, and we could do dubs against each other.
Oh,
my goat versus your goat, and like let's get at it. You know,
that's a pretty fun idea. Oh my gosh,
I think that'd be cool. But yeah, congratulations to Michael Go for taking down MA60. Jeremy Potler took down MA2. Nicholas Burrington took down MA3, and Corey Kendall took down MA4. And shout out to James Radick. I gave a lesson to him a couple of weeks ago, and he came in second at MA4. And I see his game improving like really quickly. So really happy to see him getting out to more events in that too. So moving right along into. Ollie's going to kind of take the lead on this one, but this is the PDGA 2025 rule changes and kind of the stuff that we should expect to see coming up in this next year.
Yeah, so basically every year they do the voting and they get a feel of like what people want or don't want with the rules change. And so one of those was one of the rules proposed that people really did not like was the timeouts rule, because there was a lot of different and this came with the different 30-second violations and like how that's been a problem in the past, basically. I mean, it's been a problem for years, but really notably since like the Nico LaCastro incident in Europe, and then going on, there's been a couple where like Jacob Curtis putting took him an average like 50 seconds basically to get a putt off, and Gannon Burr had a few of those throughout the season as well, where it created a narrative with that. So then they're looking for solutions, and so one of the solutions was giving 2 timeouts or something like that was what they were proposing. I don't really know, but like there's a lot of logistics with like how that. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like you're lining up a putt, you're kind of just pumping it, and then you're like timeout, or like I was trying to go through it in my head, but
yeah, I played Cupcake last year. And I don't think like he's so inside of his head when he's doing it, just as him as an example, that I think even if he were to get to 30 seconds and he's still like pump faking it, I don't think
you're not calling time.
He would have the sense of mind to be like, I'll take a step back and say, hey, time out. I'm going to like take a second and then get back into it. It's like, there's no way he's like aware of this happening. Because if he was aware that he's taking 30 seconds or more, he would have the mental capacity to actually throw the putt by then. Yeah. So, I agree. That one, I totally agree. I think that one was really silly. I don't think that was a great rule change or rule proposed kind of thing. So,
this is probably the rule I'm most excited about is the hot stamping rule, because the hot stamps didn't really make too much sense to me. And now you can just hot stamp them without worry or anything like that. I know you have some cool hot stamp discs, and we got the ECD hot stamper. So I'm going to have to go in and get like basically all my discs just ECD'd out. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I have it set up in the shop here already because I was kind of like looking at it yesterday. I was stamping some like used discs, just kind of like messing around with it. Yeah, I'm going to have a little self-stamper here at the store. So anybody that comes by and wants to have their disc stamped, we're going to do like a small like little like upcharge fee for it. And we can stamp your discs right here in store. Honestly, I can probably figure out if like, you're safe about it. We can probably have the person stamp their own discs, which would be kind of cool with the little ECD logo. So, yeah, no, it's something I'm super looking forward to. You know, tops, bottoms, we can do all of it. The only thing I can't do right now, and I haven't been able to figure out, is minis. Um, I think the plastic is like blended differently or something, but I can't figure out how to stamp minis. But yeah, hot stamping, that's coming in 2025. I'm super pumped about that. It's gonna be awesome. A lot of custom stuff coming out. So.
Caleb, you got any custom discs in the bag or anything like that? Any cool discs?
I got a cool general that I got from the shop that I think it's Buzz dyed.
Yep.
Or Buzz dyed it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That
Buzz
one's
hand.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, those are super. I still need to get my hands on or one of those in my bag for sure.
Yeah, once the pass actually clears up and you're able to drive through, we'll stamp all your discs.
Sick.
Yeah, come on by and hang out for the day, and yeah, we
The
got all
pass
kinds.
was very not clear on the way home Saturday.
Dude, I saw the pictures that you posted. I was like, that looks awful.
That's why you get an Andy to take you over the pass during the winter time.
With his big old truck.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the only way to get through. I went to school at Pullman, so I'd be going
Oh no.
there and back. Yeah. For a month, but a couple months, but then it was kind of like I was getting sick of it. So then every weekend I was trying to go home looking for some ride share. It was getting towards like winter time, and yeah, the pass was getting bad some years, but I always got home. But next rule change that they're talking about for the 2025 season has to do with like tournament or TDing more with players with no PDGA number or no PDGA rating. And so I think this like rule basically is going on and talking about players that sign up for like MA4, MA3. The tournament director could but like they're basically play well enough to play higher up. The tournament director has the discretion to make that move because they don't like which makes sense basically. So like there's players that shouldn't, like if they just should have a PDGA player rating that should be higher or used to have one, or for whatever reason the tournament director has the discretion to go and move them, but to certain extents, which is like you can't move them to pro, like a AM to pro, or like a MA40 guy out of like a age protected, which is good, I think. But it makes sense, and I'm happy that there allows more people to play, and also allows the fairness of that for any smaller areas, or it doesn't really happen as much to tournaments here. I feel like that big sandbagging, but I'm sure it does happen, where this will help out.
Yeah, we don't see that too much out here. Like our tournaments almost never have players that don't have a PDGA number or anything like that. It is 100% just like your local sandbagger rule, like that kind of thing to avoid it. But I like the fact that you can't force a player to play pro, because you can't force somebody to go become a professional if they want to stay amateur and that kind of thing. So I think this is like a good rule just for your MA4 guy who wants to go and clean up. And it's like, dude, like I think it would be interesting, and I don't know if this is in the rules, and I probably should have checked this ahead of time. But if you have a guy that you don't know that comes up and just like, ties the hot round for MPO, and he signed up for MA3 and he's like, I don't know, like, can you move that player up mid tournament to MA1? You know what I mean? Like, I think you should be able to do that and be like, hey, like, even if that was just like the hottest round you've ever shot in your life, like obviously your skills are better than like an MA3 level.
That could work if it's the same layout.
Yes.
Or like the divisions play the same layout.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they should be able to do that. I don't know if that's in the rules that says that they could, but I think you should be able to, personally.
I wonder if that was even talked about, like different layouts and stuff and how that would work, or if it's even an option at that point. If you have like a player that already shot the first round but like is up by like 20 strokes in MA4 or something, you're like, no. Like that's interesting. I wonder if that was talked about at all. I need to go look through the more fine print of those that like the thing they sent out. Another new thing, there has to be working bathrooms at every event. I am a big fan of that. I know, just anyone that, like Roxy, won't go to a course if there's not bathrooms. So, I'm a big fan of having working bathrooms and making that a thing where most courses do.
Yeah. And honestly, the argument against that is that like, oh, my local course like doesn't have the capabilities for a truck to drive in and drop off a bathroom. Well, you can't host a tournament there. I'm sorry. Like that's the end of it. Like if the course is too small or too cruddy for you to bring a porta potty in, then you just shouldn't there. Like
That's a real point.
like
And
this the argument's crazy to me.
and then imagine like, yeah, there's just so many players where like, if you're like, imagine signing up for this tournament, you go and you need to go to the bathroom and there's no bathroom, and some people that don't mind going in a bush or something like that, but that affects everything with like the next person. Like it's not a big deal, and it's a big deal at the same time. It's a bigger deal at the same time, 100%.
Yeah. I've had a lot of women come up to us and tell us at our South Fork events, hey, we like these events out here because there's a bathroom. My wife likes going to South Fork because she can go and wash her hands in the bathroom. There's running water. There's a place where she can privately use the bathroom and it doesn't feel gross. Like
Roxy loves South Fork. Yeah.
Dude, it's a big deal and it goes a really long way. So that's one that I'm sitting on. That doesn't change anything for our events. Setac already requires us to rent a porta potty any event that you do there, and South Fork has a bathroom on site, so our literally it's just status quo. We don't have to think or even really think about it. So
nice.
Yeah, I love it though. I think that's so good.
They have photo evidence is allowed but just for like, it's just for course, like saying like this is this line OB, kind of like using that. So you wouldn't be able to use like photo evidence for would it be for like saying if your disc is out of bounds, or like how would that work? No. Yeah.
You send me a picture of your disc like, in the water on a leaf or something, and you say like, hey, I want to show you this, and I see that. I'm like, I can't use that to make a decision. Like, you guys have to decide this. But if you send me a picture because there's South Fork, for instance, the line on hole 10, right? Like, if you send me a picture of that and you say, hey, like, here the line kind of goes this way and here the line goes that way, like, which line is it officially? I can use that as like, oh, it's this line over that line. And if that helps you make your decision on inbounds or out of bounds, like, great. But I'm not deciding that your disc is inbounds or out of bounds. I'm deciding what the line is for you. So
I like that.
I think that's fine too. I don't know. I don't mind like photo evidence. Like if like you want to take a video or you want to take a picture that like clearly shows that your disc, like what's going on with the situation, and like bring it to the tournament director. Like I don't think it's that bad of a situation. Like everybody's got a phone, or somebody on your card has a phone camera on it. Like it shouldn't be that bad. I think it needs to be like explained to the tournament directors, or it needs to be the rule. It has to state like clear and concise evidence to turn, like the same with like MLB when they do like the instant replay. Like it has to be like without a doubt determining that the call can be overturned. I think it should be kind of the same thing with tournament directors on that kind of stuff. So
I like that. Yeah, without a doubt, and it has to be more than enough evidence to make the claim than to I like that. No smoking at 8 tiers and above. No use of tobacco products. They said that is a new rule.
Caleb, you're a smoker. How you feel about that?
I mean, it's gross. I'm pretty sure not everyone wants to smell like an ashtray when they're playing.
It's fair. I don't mind personally, like smoking around me. A lot of times anybody that smokes usually very respectful, and they're like say like, hey, do you mind if I smoke? And they usually try to stay like downwind. Yeah. So I don't know, like I get it, the professional look of it though. At 8 tiers and above, you want to try to put your best foot forward.
Yeah, I understand where they're coming from, just trying to create a good, because it starts with if you continue to have like more professional 8 tiers, it creates it makes sense with everything.
But on the PGA, they are allowed to smoke when they play.
Like oh really?
Yeah, I watched a TikTok recently about it, which I thought was weird because golf is very professional.
It's probably like the John Daly rule. So
it's probably just for John Daly. Yeah.
That's really funny. They had to like grandfather that one in for him. They're like, as soon as he retires, though, that's out. We're done. We're just waiting.
It's okay for him to do it, but the second you do it, bub.
Yeah, no chance. That's funny. Yeah, that was all the
That
rules. Was there any more?
Yeah, that was about it. I think the last one was just the 2-minute warning is officially two blasts of the horn, and the start is just one long one. But yeah, that's about it. But yeah, some new rule changes 2025. Just remember, like, I think everyone that has a PDGA or everyone that does have a PDGA number can vote and do these things, and so always go out there and just see the stats and see like what the different people are feeling in the community. So I know I like to go through and I'll just answer the questions kind of quickly and make sure my side is heard.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that is the one of the truest things is that the PDGA, like, obviously with like the timeout rule is proof that the PDGA listens like to the people to some extent. If
yeah,
there's an outcry that this is really bad, the PDGA will make corrections on stuff like that. So it never hurts to make your voice heard and go out and just say something, like respond to the PDGA, and maybe it's their Instagram post or their Facebook post, but if enough people do that, they take notice of that stuff. So yeah, awesome. All right, getting right into our next topic, we're going to talk a little bit about the 2025 schedule. As mentioned, Emerald City Disc has a ton of events scheduled next year. We have 12 events scheduled, 7 at South Fork and 5 at Setac. We have 2 B tiers scheduled amongst those 12, one at Setac and one at South Fork. Looking forward to both of those. I think the B tier at Seatac is called Cloud City Chaos. That got moved last couple of years. It's been at South Fork. We're going to move that to Seatac and make it a B tier. So that one's going to get a total upgrade. And then the Mountain View Championship, which is going to happen, I think, in like August. That's also going to be a big B tier. And we're going to do a very similar layout to the one that we did last year. But probably with like a few like little minor additions. I'd like to if I can make a par 5, I'd love to. I'd love to add at least one more par 4 and kind of change things up a little bit more. So, but almost like I'll say like 85% reminiscent of previous year's layout kind of thing. So, Caleb, I feel like you're kind of you're pretty close to diving into like Pro Tour events and stuff like that, right? Like your rating's like right on that level where you should be able to sign up.
Yeah.
Play.
I think the first tier is 1010 and the second tier is 990.
Yeah, which is
It used to be 980 and 1000, so
and which is bullshit because as soon as I got to 1,000, they bumped it up to 1,010. I was like,
yeah.
that's lame.
So yeah, Cascade Challenge and the Northwest Disc Golf Championships are going to be the 2 DGPT events that are kind of out in this area. Are you planning on signing up for both of those?
I'm for sure trying Cascade Challenge without a doubt.
Yeah.
The Portland one though, that's like a 50-50.
I see. Cool. Yeah, I found in the past, honestly, that the Portland Open and Beaver State Fling, both of those events were like freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So they're combining them and they're doing this in a good way. I think it's going to be really cool. The thing I am a little concerned about, and I don't know if it's talked about enough, Beaver, like Milo McIver and Glendevere are like 40 minutes away from each other.
And
it's like,
aren't they supposed to be half an hour at the most?
Dude, they're not close.
No.
Is Glendevere like near Portland, like right more close?
Yeah, Glendevere's
Glendevere's
like in Portland, and I want to say Milo's like south.
Estacada.
Yeah, Escadia. Yeah. But yeah, they're like 40 minutes apart from each other. If there's like traffic or you got to go and play at like, like lead card that's going to have to go play at 4:00, you're going to have to get there at noon because you're never going to get parking or it's going to take ever to get down there kind of thing. So, yeah, I am excited about it. I do think that Milo and Glendevere as a combo will make a really, really sick tournament that will have a good wooded and course. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also going to try to drive down. It's in my plan right now to go to Champions Cup down at where OTB was last year in Stockton. It's only like a 12-hour drive from us. So I might just load up the car and have a car camp for a couple of days and drive down there, practice, play the event, do the whole thing. So, yeah, that's one that I'm on the top of my list that I'm really looking forward to. We have a ton of A tiers in the area as well. I'm expecting to see pretty much all of these too.
No doubt.
Cascade Challenge, non-DGPT. There's the Seatac Takeoff, South Sound Classic, Washington State Championships, which has been upgraded to an A tier this year. Farragut, who last year was not even a sanctioned event at all, is going to be A tier this year, so that's kind of interesting to see. I have a couple other ones on my list there. Like I was thinking about in February driving down to Pasadena. It's like a 17-hour drive, but I was thinking about going down there and doing the Wintertime Open. It's a really prestigious event at Oak Grove, which is like the first disc golf course in America.
Yep.
I've been there a couple of times. It's a really like prestigious event with like a ton of history around it. So that's like at the top of my list right now. If I can figure out logistics of it, I would really like to go and play that.
The course is so amazing. I got to go and play there and see the old baskets. And it's like also I think it's like Onskagen's home course, which is pretty cool. It was the very first basket put into ground, which is pretty cool. And not for any particular reason. I think it got like 10 or 5 courses got approved, and that was just the first one that they put in the ground.
It's really cool there. I mean, it's not necessarily the most like incredible like disc golf facility, like disc golf
park.
Yeah,
I believe
it's a park. It's 100% just a park. It's more the history and all that's kind of behind it. So definitely something that I'm gonna try to get down and play. BC Open, that's another one that I would like to go and play, or I play every top of my list. Ollie, you played that last year. Was that your first MPO tournament last year?
Yep.
Yeah. That was
Holy smokes.
I definitely want to go back and I had a great start. I just got to keep it up, you know?
Yeah.
It's like...
I think the week before the tournament, he and I were talking and he was like, let's get a practice round. And I was like, sure. I was like, but you know, your pads. I was like, you got a whole other course you got to practice. I was like, if you just move to MPO, you know, I don't got to deal with any of that. He goes, no, all right, I'll just do that. I was like,
it's true.
It's like the littlest bit of convince. I was like, yeah, that actually sounds great. And it worked out really well. Yeah, we got to practice a lot more and do that, and it helped me push me on. And then like for other tournaments moving forward, it definitely was like, I'm not going back to MA1.
At that point, you're already there. Yeah. Another one that I'm looking at playing is Beaver State Fling. That's an A tier down in Oregon, but that is the same weekend as Kayak Point Open. So I don't. I'm gonna have kind of a decision to make. Kayak's not my favorite like courses to be playing all the time, anyways. So Beaver State Fling might be a pretty fun option.
I'm really torn because I like playing kayak. Like, I think that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because the Kayak Point Open is one of my very first tournaments I ever did in MA4. So it's one of the tournaments I like to like roll around back and hit. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I did an MA4 and got like, I think I got second, but like by like 10 strokes or something like that. It was so bad. I was like, I should have won. It should have been me. But yeah, I really like, because this last one I had like 5 birdies on golds or something like that. So I'm starting to feel like I can birdie the certain holes, and if I just can figure out how to not bogey, it will work out.
I remember you started really hot, right? Like at one point you were like a few down.
I think maybe 2 down or so.
On gold?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's a.
I parred 1 and then birdied 2, and after that I was like feeling pretty good about myself.
Yeah.
I finally shot under par on gold and went toe to toe with Carter, so I really don't need to go kayak ever again.
I think I ended up shooting 4 or 5, or I think it was 4 over. So, and then I did the other round we played, so I did 2 4-overs, but it felt like if I took the 2 rounds together, like I took the 2 rounds and I put them together, and that score was like, it was either negative, I think it was negative, so I was like, if I could just do that, we would be cooking.
Yes. Totally. The other A tier that I'm looking at is called the Rose City Open. That's an A tier that's going to be hosted in Glendiveer, down in Portland. So that's, super awesome. I think the Rose City Open would be the same weekend as Washington State Doubles Championships. So we'll see kind of when that time comes, when it's time to sign up for all those. We'll kind of see what the lay of the land's like. A bunch of B tiers. Like I said, Emerald City Disc is hosting a ton of C tiers and a couple of B tiers. I don't know if this is like breaking news, and I'm not really trying to break any news, but as far as I understand, Pac X Cup will be happening next year. So it's all about just kind of like getting, as far as I know, just like kind of getting stuff like together, and that kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't really have a lot of information about that currently, but as far as I'm aware, Pac X Cup will be going on again. It's just about what it looks like, kind of deal. So, yeah. Caleb, is there any events that you look forward to like every year that we didn't mention?
That you didn't mention?
Yeah.
Well,
Whatever.
Windy River Open is one of them.
Oh yeah, that's in Kennewick. Yeah,
Yeah,
I played
it's
that one.
just one of the oldest tournaments in this area, so I don't know. I feel like if you want to be someone in Eastern Washington, you have to win a Windy or like some crazy B tier up in Saconnie or Spokane area.
Okay, good to know. If you want to make a name for yourself out there.
Windy is probably one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And I'm always excited for South Sound Classic, but I might be a little biased.
Yeah. Yeah, I went down and played the Windy one year. That was all right. It was
You don't like hillbilly golf?
it was fine, dude. That one hole that it was like
I'll
that,
never forget that.
dude. What is like? It's that hole that's on the other side of the road. That's like 130 feet long, but it's like impossible to birdie because it's so freaking windy over that little hillside. Yeah. Sick hole, dude.
That's right. Hey, at least you got to experience it, Kirby, with Caleb too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come out and do some hillbilly golf.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, dude. It's pretty fun.
It's not bad.
Bring some stable discs.
Yeah, for sure. It is. That was when the Zone OS came out, and I was throwing Zone OS all over the place because I was like, I think this makes no sense here.
Yeah. It's better to disc golf with bricks over here than actual frisbees.
That's funny. All right, Ollie, you want to get? I don't really.
Let's skip it this week.
No,
we'll go. We'll do it quick. Actually, no. I don't know. No. Fantasy football check-in time. Welcome to the show. This is what an amazing week. We are rejoicing here. We scored 158.12 against Kirby's 128.72 to take the victory. We did it without a quarterback. We did it without Trevor Lawrence. I forgot to sub him out in this league, so it just shows how dominant we can be.
You're 2-9 dominant. You're 2-9 dominant. Sad day squad.
Sad day squad. 2-9, but honestly, one win streak, and that's all that matters. And so we got the big dub over Kirby. I was literally so surprised when I looked at my phone. I had to throw together I think I started Jameis Winston, who had 26. Oh, my big Taysom Hill. That was my big guy. He had 40 points, damn near 40 points for me. I kept going and I kept looking down my phone. It was 75-yard touchdown run, Taysom Hill, and I was like. But then I look at my other league and I was playing against Taysom Hill, and so I ended up losing because of him as well. So.
I got smoked.
But the big dub there, it's starting to come down to the wire, so all these games definitely do matter. So Kirby moves to 5-6. Lucas loses as well, so he moves to 5-6 against Team CO. Team Lucky Luke couldn't get the win over Team Slop Jockeys. 190 points scored. That's huge. Gabe Zansberg, close 9-point loss against OK Fantasy Football Show, who moves to 5-6. So there's so far 3, 5, and 6 teams, so that's going to be, I think, fighting for a playoff spot, you 3. And then on top of the world, moves to 7-3-1, and 2 tight ends, 1 cup, gets the win. So it's starting to narrow down, playoffs coming soon, so. But we got the big dub this week, so that's all that matters.
That sucked. I was I don't know, through most of Sunday, I think I was at the store, and I was I checked it in the morning, and I was I feel like I got this in the bag. I was dude doesn't have quarterback going. I was I'm going to outscore him by 20 points, I think I was projected to. And I was whatever, we good. And then I checked back later, and it said I had a 1% chance of winning. And I was what the fuck happened?
We ball. I just, we get into the locker room at halftime. I gave him that motivational speech. We got 30 minutes the rest of our lives. Let's go out there. Let's win it for me. Let's win it for us. Come on. And my fantasy football players, next thing I know, they're going off for me. So it's just you got to have that chemistry, that connection. Your players got to want to die for you. My guys love me.
For shit. All right, we're gonna move right along. It's fine. I was disappointed. We're gonna move right along. We're getting into the draft this week. We are going to celebrate Thanksgiving being next week by doing the Thanksgiving draft this week. So, the only caveat we made to the draft is you have to pick one dessert at some point in time throughout the draft. But besides that, it doesn't even have to be all just foods, just anything that has to do with Thanksgiving. I won the poll from last week, so I'm going to decide the order. Caleb, I'm going to go ahead and give you the number 1 overall pick. I'm going to take the number 2 pick, and Ollie, you will have the 3 pick. So, Caleb, what you got for your number 1 overall Thanksgiving pick?
Does pumpkin pie count as Thanksgiving food?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, totally.
Okay.
And that's your dessert, too. It's kind of the goated dessert.
Costco sells... Oh, dude, I forgot. I had the number in my head. But it is an insane amount of pumpkin pies. Those pumpkin pie... I saw one person with 2 flatbeds full of just pumpkin pies. And I was like... They got it. They said they were getting them to hand out to, or they're giving them to their employees or something, or they're doing something with them. But I was like, that's insane. I was like, they go through so many pumpkin pies. Pumpkin pies goated. That was gonna be my dessert. Now you threw me for a loop.
That was gonna be my dessert too, so we're all fucked.
Good thing I went first.
Honestly, kind of a goated first pick. Honestly.
Yeah. I will say I like my pumpkin pie with Cool Whip, a shit ton of Cool Whip on there, almost a 1-to-1, not quite 1-to-1, but almost a 1-to-1 ratio.
Damn near.
It's oof. Yeah. All right, I got the number 2 overall pick. With this number 2 pick, I'm gonna pick what I believe is the tried and true classic and the staple of all Thanksgiving tables, and it's mashed potatoes. When I love a big old scoop of mashed potatoes, extra buttery, can't do wrong with them.
Can't go wrong. I feel like but you did go wrong.
How so?
With the 3rd pick, Thanksgiving, I'm going turkey.
Yeah.
Come on.
Bro,
give me the turkey.
The turkey to me feels like an obligation. I have to have a piece of turkey. I'm all about them sides, though.
Guess what? We're only here because the turkey.
I don't like diet chicken.
Hey,
go get your turducken. Go get a turducken.
I don't know what side he's on.
I gotta go and just get the crowd favorite, the number. I gotta go get Turkey Day. I gotta go get him. And then for since it wraps back around to me, so for the number 4 pick and my number 2 pick, I'm going with my personal favorite dish on Thanksgiving, stuffing. I'm a stuffing head. I love stuffing so much. I put gravy on my stuffing.
Yeah.
I think it's so amazing when you take the mashed potatoes, a little piece of turkey, stuffing, put it on a roll. Oh my God. Or a sandwich the next day. Oh.
Yep. That was easy, my next pick. Stuffing it's the only time of year that I eat stuffing. You don't make a box of stuffing on a random day in July. That's
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have.
That's psychopathic.
It is psychopathic.
That's crazy.
I look at that Stouffer's box get in me.
I always have one in the cupboard too because I get an extra one at Thanksgiving because I'm like, oh, I'll have this the week after or something like that. And then I stare at it, right? And then I don't know, mid-February comes around and I'm like, fuck it, we having a box of stuffing for dinner.
There is the point when you're just making the whole stuffing and you're like, why am I doing this?
Yeah. Yup. You know what's really good? You take you go to Safeway, they sell the andouille sausage. If you chop that up, saute it down with the butter that you use for the stuffing, and then make your stuffing with that. Oh, it's so tasty. It's so
Put
good.
me on. Put me on.
All right. So I have the number 5 pick here. I think I'm gonna deviate a little bit from like an actual food item. And I'm gonna pick. Feel free to veto this, but I'm gonna pick cooking. Just in general, like I like cooking a meal for the family, and that's like a big part of Thanksgiving for me. Is I spend like my whole day just like cooking shit.
Cool with it, but I just make the argument: do you not cook any other time of the year?
I guess cooking. That's kind of fair. You know?
Cooking Thanksgiving food is what Kirby meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like
Well, I think it's different. Like, yeah, I think it is different.
because like we're having like Ellie's parents over and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like a whole. And I spend like most of my day like getting the turkey ready or like getting together, prepping and
I'm
stuff
cool
like
with
that.
it. I'm cool with it.
That's a big part of it for me. So I'm going cooking as my number 5 pick. Caleb, you got number 6 and number 7 here.
And I can't say anything y'all already said, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. I would have to go with cabbage buns. I don't
What is
think
that?
y'all ever heard about that, but
Oh,
Yeah,
It's like-
it's a bun, I'm guessing, with some meat and cabbage inside it.
okay.
That's all I know. My mom makes them most Thanksgivings,
cool.
but they're pretty good.
Is it
If
like
you have-
steamed?
I think so. I believe so. I just know there's bun. You put the cabbage, some meat, whatever else. Eat.
Nice. Okay.
You bake
Cool
it?
with that.
Do you
Pretty
bake
good. I don't know. I got my mom in Savannah to do the cooking stuff.
Oh yeah, no kidding, dude. Yeah, that's so funny.
I don't want to burn down any houses or anything like that.
Sweet.
But
All right,
now I have to pick another.
Yep, you got to pick.
Turkey dubs.
Oh, like Thanksgiving dubs.
Yep. We got our
I
turkey
feel
dubs this weekend.
Yeah, we do. We do my club. We do a Thanksgiving skins match, and so it's
cool.
like 25 cents a hole, and or something like 50 cents a hole, or $1 a hole, or something like that. And then there's so many people that it adds up. Like if you once the skin goes, it's like $400-$500 sometimes. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's actually super fun, and we do it different places. But last time I did it was at Discovery Park. But yeah, I feel like disc golfing on Thanksgiving, big vibe, big vibe.
Sick. So I think it's back to me then with the number 8 pick.
Yes, sir.
For the number 8 pick, I'm gonna pick, and I don't know if everybody had this on their table, just like buttered corn, just like corn off the cob, like cooked with a little bit of butter and salt, like
Okay.
so good. So buttered corn.
Feel that. For the 8th pick, I'm going to go with Thanksgiving like football, like family football, like you play flag football, your friends or your family and stuff like that. I feel like that's a big Thanksgiving Day activity.
Totally, yeah. That's so funny growing up in like Western New York, like in like Niagara Falls, because one year my dad and I would go to like play football like at the park and there'd be snow, and then next year we had to spend like 4 hours shoveling out our driveway because we had like 6 feet up in there, like
Crazy. And
Yeah.
then so I have to do a dessert now for my last pick.
yeah.
It's not a dessert, but it's sweet.
What you got?
Can I take cranberry sauce? Can I take the little cranberry sauce in the can or whatever?
That's kind of like a side on the table.
I feel it's not dessert. I don't even know what other desserts you have on Thanksgiving around this time. No, I don't have pecan. I'm not saying pecan pie. I ain't eating that. If I ain't eating it, I'm not saying it. I'm probably gonna go with could I go with like a pumpkin drinks, like pumpkin flavored drinks? I feel like that's big during this time, no? Like the Thanksgiving drinks. Like like you'll get like a coffee,
Spice latte.
pumpkin spice latte,
I don't know. Caleb, do you think that counts as a dessert?
I mean, I took pumpkin pie, and that was the only one I could think of, so
Um,
I would give it to him.
Sure.
Hey, Ty goes the player. That's 2 out of the 3. Let's go!
All right, yeah, cool. Pumpkin spice latte.
We'll take that. We'll take that. Yeah, you know, that's a treat. What is it? Like people be drinking. Yeah, I feel like that's what they'd be drinking. I don't know.
Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna have the number 11 pick, and then Caleb, you'll round us out with the number 12. I'm picking pecan pie. My wife fucking loves pecan pie. There's a little Hawaiian bakery here in White Center called Patrick's, and they have a really, really good pecan pie because it's like mostly filling, rather than like those thin ones that's mostly just like crust with like a little bit of filling. So she really loves it. And in honor of my wife, I will pick pecan pie.
Love that. I'm not hip to the pecan pie.
All right, Caleb, you got our last pick.
What is that called? The Macy's Thanksgiving Parade or Macy's Day Parade?
Okay.
Yeah, the big balloons and
Okay,
such.
Caleb.
Yo,
Yep.
did not see that coming. All right.
I think that counts. It's Thanksgiving
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure.
Oh, dude, that totally counts. You a big parade guy?
I mean, I don't watch it, but I know it happens. I've seen it before as a youngin.
All right, cool. I'm down for it. That's funny. That is something I guess is very synonymous with Thanksgiving, but I don't ever like think of myself as something for Thanksgiving. So, good pick though. Yeah. All right, to break down our list real quick, Caleb picked pumpkin pie, cabbage buns, turkey dubs, and Macy's Day Parade. I picked mashed potatoes, cooking, buttered corn, and pecan pie. And Ollie picked turkey, stuffing, Thanksgiving football, and pumpkin spice latte. Ollie, I like this a lot.
I know it's not that bad. I was like, oh, I'm cooked. I was like, my list probably is terrible. And then once you start reading, I'm like, okay, we good.
No, honestly, I think Caleb with his cabbage buns is kind of the biggest dud on the list.
I'm intrigued, and I'm cool with the cabbage
I don't know
buns.
if
I
anyone's
like
ever
it.
ate one besides me or my family.
I like the cabbage buns pull. That's a nice one.
That's funny.
Episode 33 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. Thank you so much, Caleb, for joining us. It was a blast talking to you for the last hour and getting to know you some more. Hopefully, some more people. If you see Caleb at a tournament, say hi. You know, super awesome guy. One of my favorite people I've ever gotten to play with. Like, such a blast to play with. Like, I really, really mean that. Like, he's literally like, it doesn't really matter. I've seen you on the course when you're doing really well, when you're shooting the hot round, and then even when you're not shooting the hot round, you're just a joy to be around. So really, thanks for coming on the show and talking with us. Yeah. Got a little quote to end. Yeah, of course. We'll do a Larry Bird quote. I've got a theory that if you give 100% all the time, somehow things will work out in the end. Aim high, shoot low. We'll see you for episode 34. Peace.
Peace.